What up, YouTube? Good morning. Happy Saturday to everybody. How did y'all like that little intro beat? I like that. I want to say shout out to Timmy Ocean Beats. If y'all like that beat, go check him out on YouTube. Um, great little beat for an intro song. Definitely got the energy going and woke me up this morning a little bit. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody is well. Y'all see the title. I promised a part two. Now, I said I was going to do it either Thursday or Friday. I actually got super busy on Friday. Thursday, Thursday, I was finishing up work and then I got off of work and I ain't even gonna lie. I needed to take a nap. So I did. I took a nap when I was going to stream, and then after that, I got up. I went and started doing some stuff, and I also had a meeting with my mentor at work, and our meeting went a lot longer than I thought it was going to, but it was a really good meeting. So um, that kind of took up my time. So how's everybody week? How did everybody's week go? Sorry, I'm struggle streaming, y'all. It's early for me on a Saturday. Normally, I try to like sleep in a little bit more, just kind of relax, wake myself up whenever I wake up. But I was like, I want to do this stream. I promised a part two for the NBA draft, talking about some of the picks that were made. And yeah, so we gonna get straight into it. But y'all know how I like to start it off. Now I am going to a oldie but a goodie today for the candle of the day, because it ain't evening, but candle of the day. We got the Classe Azul bottle. This actually has my logo sticker on it. I gotta work on getting those lights to, autofocus and all of that, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, what's the scent in here? It smells so good. That is the clean floral linen. That's a very clean scent. It's what I would consider to be like a almost like a laundry type of scent. Kind of smells like game, but with a little bit more floral energy to it, if you know what I mean. So it's packed with florals, but it still gives you that kind of clean feel. This is something I'll put like either in my bathroom or in any room where I just want to light it and just I want it to smell like I just finished cleaning up. And I probably would light it if I had just finished cleaning up. But anyway, that's the candle of the day. Let's get straight into it. Now, I want to start with some motivation. So first reaction we gonna do a little motivational video. Shout out to Cam Newton. It is from Cam Newton's page. It's a little silly, a little goofy, but also got a little bit of motivational aspect to it. So let's get straight to it.
After the tone. If you're receiving this message, the message is simple. If you're tired of starting over, stop quitting.
Leave your message after the tone.
If you're tired of starting over, stop quitting. Amen, Cam. Amen. And the church said, you know what I'm saying? So I just agreed with the message, and I thought it was something cool to just start off with. If you're tired of starting over, hey, keep going. Whatever it is that you're doing, make sure you keep going. Don't just quit. Don't just give up. Make sure you keep going. So, if you're watching this, please hop on into the chat. I want to have a discussion because we are about to talk about the second part of the draft, not round two. I left off, I think, around pick 11 of round one. So I'm going to pick up from there and go with, pick 12. Um, Let me move myself over a little bit here. So we're going to talk about pick 12. Now, with the 12th pick, first of all, shout out to the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? Sam Presti over there, he has been doing a wonderful job, really for a long time. I don't know how long he has been there. I'll have to look that part up, but he's been doing an amazing job at making sure One, that the team is constructed well, but two, that they keep some picks, man. He's like, I don't want to have to do the whole we sit out the playoffs while we rebuild. He's like, nah, we're going to be somewhere in contention, somewhere towards the top, and we're going to have all the picks that we want to fill in the gaps that we have. You know, once guys start getting too expensive or if they want to move on, they can do so. And then he's got picks to just, like I said, fill in those spots, those holes, pause, where, you know, he can get some production. And it's not like a top pick, but it's that like quality serviceable pick. So what did they do here? They went and got Abe or Ade Mara, Ade Mara, Abe Mara. Did I say that right? They went and got Abe Mara, and from what I know about him, he's a tall player. They're gonna, use him to help be alongside Chet. Ade Mara, sorry, Ade Mara. He's coming out of Michigan, 7'3", super tall, super tall. Can help with rim protection. You know, like I said, he's going to be playing alongside Chet. And the interesting thing about this pick is what is going to happen with Hardenstein. Now, I don't know if Hardenstein, if he's on a contract year, is he going to be, you know, leaving the team? I have no idea. But I do know this. Uh, let's say, okay, they keep Hardenstein. Excuse me. I'm not ending soon. Excuse me. I had to sneeze right quick. Allergies, but I don't know if they're getting rid of Hardenstein or if they're keeping him. Who knows? It looks like he signed a new contract. Okay, so they're keeping Hardenstein. Looks like he signed a new contract with them for 3 years, $75 million. Woo! Great job, great job. But here's the thing: you now get a 7'3" rookie. You get him on a rookie deal, and now you've got a legit backup for Hardenstein or for Chet. So he can play alongside Chet, and now you got two rim protectors. You got somebody who can rebound, and this is where OKC is trying to compete with the Spurs. The Spurs took them out last year, or this past season. It was this year, but they took them out this past season in the playoffs. Now we know that OKC didn't have Jay Will. They had another key injury to one of their key players. I want to say what was Mitchell, and so this move might put them back over the hump, and I like it. I like it. Like I said, shout out to Sam Presti, but they're doing what they need to do to fill in the gaps. AJ Mitchell was the one who was injured, but now you got guys like, and the team just looks crazy stacked, right? On paper and in the game, whatever you want to call it. So you got SGA, you got Chet, who's your power forward. You got Jalen Williams, you got Hartenstein, you got the other Jalen Williams coming off the bench. You got Dort, you got Caruso. Caruso's a great defender, but also just a great energy guy. You've got Jared McCain, who's your backup. Jared McCain, I don't know if he's exactly there yet, but he low-key could be starting on some teams. He low-key could be starting on some teams. You got Case and Wallace, and now you're adding in Ade Mara from Michigan. And, they are starting to look spooky. They are starting to look real spooky. They are looking like, okay, yeah, we lost in the playoffs last year, but we are trying to get it back. And we are trying to get it back in a major way. We are trying to get back to the finals. That's what this pick kind of tells me. They're like, okay, we need another body in here to be the backup if anything should happen, like injuries, things like that. But also, we need somebody who's going to go in there and can help when it comes to defending Wimby and the rim in general. I think in these playoffs, especially in that series, what we saw out of Chet was it wasn't just timid play, right? Excuse me, I'm moving stuff on my desk. It wasn't just timid play, but it was also like it was timid, it was lack of aggression, it was I don't want to say he was scared, but it was just like he wasn't even trying. Like they didn't the Thunder didn't even try to have Chet guard Wimby in that series. They were putting Caruso on him when he was, you know, out outside of the paint. They had other small guys on him. I think Jay Will was guarding him before he got injured and was sitting out. It was like, what is happening? When you have somebody like Wimby, you need somebody who can actually contest his shot. So I think with Ade Mara, you might get a little bit of that. Now Wimby might be a little bit faster than him or quicker, but it's not going to be so many drives to the hole, you know, and all of that. I think Ade Mara might be a little bit stronger than Wimby. He's definitely heavier, so is there's not going to be any bully ball in the post, anything like that. But this is a move that tells you the Thunder want to make it back to the playoffs, and they want to make it back to the finals. They want to be at least in the Western Conference Finals, and they definitely want to be in the NBA Finals. This move, that's all it tells me. So y'all tell me what y'all think about that move. I think power move by the Thunder, right? But let's move on. Let's talk about 13. I'm gonna quickly go through 13. Um, I'm gonna quickly go really from 13 to 20 is gonna be pretty quick. So at 13, we got the Bucks. They picked up Nate Ament. This is just a rebuilding season for the Bucks. They have since traded Giannis Antetokounmpo. We talked about that in the last episode, and so now it's just about filling up the team with players, right? And hoping that the players that you fill the team up with, they either give you trade capital so that you can get another superstar back there, or you start building that complementary team where it's like, maybe we make it to the playoffs by winning by committee. You know what I mean? When you got a team where you got like 6, 7 guys who could average double figures, you know, anywhere from 20 to like 11. If you got 6 guys who can do that, if you have like 3 guys, let's say they all give you 20 points a game, and then you got the next 3 guys who are giving you anywhere from 11 to 15, you can win by committee. You can find yourself in the playoffs by winning with team chemistry. So the Bucks are either going to try to do that, or they're going to try and leverage some of the pieces that they have. Now they have Tyler Hero, they have Jaime Jaquez Jr., they have the one dude's name I don't know how to pronounce, so I'm not even going to try. Sorry, I'm just not trying to butcher the dude's name. It's too early. It's Saturday. But these moves are telling me it's rebuild time. They're telling me it's rebuild time. But you never know. You never know. They might be able to sneak in a couple wins. And if they do, hey, more power to them. The East is always kind of open. Top four spots, you kind of know who's going to get there most of the time. There's usually like one sleeper team where you don't really expect them to, do what they did. Like Detroit last year. We didn't really expect them to be number one. Um, we did expect the Knicks to make it to the finals or to go deep into the playoffs. That's exactly what happened. So it's like the East is a little bit more predictable. But if you're a team trying to like sneak in, there's some openings there. Those from six to eight is real spooky. And now that they got the play in games, if you're in 10th place, you could sneak into the playoffs. You got to win a little bit more, but you can sneak in. So those are the types of things that you might see with this Milwaukee team. They might be able to sneak in terms of like a play in, something like that. We'll see. I don't really have high hopes. Okay. So next, the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte Hornets picked up Heinz. What's his name? Haynes Steinbach. Haynes Steinbach. I don't know super too much about him. I know that Charlotte just had some big news happen, and we'll talk about that in a second. Charlotte had some big news happen. Actually, you know what? We'll talk about it right now. We'll talk about it right now. Charlotte has traded Lamelo Ball, and they have traded him to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Naz Reid. Now, this is interesting. I am fixing my title here, but this is interesting. I think that it's going to be, interesting to see who won this trade. I think you'll know who won this trade by the results of the season. I think you'll know who won this trade by the results of the season. Right now, I'm thinking Charlotte won. I think that the Timberwolves desperately needed a point guard. I don't think that they needed to let go of Naz Reid in order to get him. Now, they also let go of Julius Randle. But now I'm like, so who is going to be your big men besides Rudy Gobert? Rudy Gobert is a good rim protector, but he's not really producing on offense. I mean, you might be able to get like 10 points a game out of Rudy at this point on offense. He's not somebody who I'm looking at to give me not even 15 points, to be honest with you. Not even 15. So like the question is, what are you gonna who's gonna be your forward? Who's gonna be your big man to help you produce in terms of scoring? And that's where I'm kind of like, it's getting kind of spooky. I think another move is coming from Minnesota though. But they signed Ayo Dosunmu to a nice contract. I think that was well deserved, especially after his performance in the playoffs. Him leaving the Bulls and then getting to Minnesota, I think he looked at that as like his fresh start, his change of scenery, and he made the most of it. He really was playing well after that trade. He was playing very well after that trade. So I think that was well deserved. I'm going to skip here to just pull this up.
I don't understand, and I'm baffled. As someone that has been dying for Minnesota to make a move that gets them on the level of San Antonio and OKC, and they're close. This just doesn't do it. And I like LaMelo. I love the talent, and I have just said year after year after year, he has to learn how to play winning basketball. This year, it looked like he took a baby step. He still wasn't efficient. He still took bad shots, but it looked like he was moving in the right direction. And now for Charlotte, once they started winning a little bit, to say, we got to get rid of him, Minnesota should have looked at that as a bad sign too. 6 years he was in Charlotte, never got to the playoffs. Yes, last year got to the play-in and got trampled, all right, by Orlando. I thought they were going to put the ball in Ayo Dosunmu's hands, obviously with Ant. Now, I got to believe something else is coming. I mean, you're going to play 4 guards around Rudy Gobert? The man was Lamelo for 6 years. Now he's not going to be that. That could be a positive in that he learns and takes on what Ant Edwards and those guys that play defense. It's baffling to me. This makes no sense to me. I don't understand.
So I feel Chris Broussard when he says that. I understand where he's coming from. Now, I will say this. They did just pay Ayo Dosunmu, right? So it's kind of like, well, all right, you just paid him. So, like, why would you then make that trade? Because now you're taking up money, but also, okay, Ayo's not going to be the guy. He's not going to be, the starting guard. Maybe, maybe not. They might try to use him in that Nas Reed role of, last year and when he won the Sixth Man of the Year award. So Ayo might be the guy who they say, okay, we're going to bring him in as our energy guy. We're going to bring him in as our microwave. We're going to bring him in as the sixth man to run that second unit and put the ball in his hands during that time. And then he'll be able to, navigate and do something a little bit more easily. But also, now you've got Lamelo who's starting. Excuse me. The moment Lamelo sits out, takes a break, you've got a guy who can come in and play with the first unit as well. So I think it's kind of an interesting move. Now, the other part is LaMelo going to play winning basketball? Is LaMelo going to play winning basketball? And that is left to be seen. That's where it gets kind of spooky. That's where it's like, ooh, they might have a point. I think I talked about this in a different episode, but I saw the game where LaMelo went from an open layup to shooting a 3. And I was like, hey, brother, that you made it. So I can't say too much. But like, what? I don't know. And I think that, Minnesota, they've got guys on that team where it's like, no, we want to win, and we want to win now. So the antics and stuff like that, it's going to have to stop. Now, on the flip side of that, I'm kind of here for the vibes because him and Ant might be a vibe together. They definitely going to be silly in the post-game interviews. They definitely going to be silly in the post-game interviews, and I can't wait. I know the very first interview is going to be like Jameis Winston level funny. But is it going to equate to wins? And like I said before, who's going to be the other big man? Like you got 4 guards around Rudy Gobert, and it's not like, I'm not calling Rudy a slouch, but it's not like, Rudy is just like one of the top centers either. Now, he's a great defender, great rim protector. What does that mean? What does that mean for your offense? That's where I'm kind of wondering. So we shall see on that one. But like I said, hey, this is a fresh start for LaMelo. They did mention about how he has taken baby steps towards moving towards winning basketball. And sometimes, sometimes progress is a little bit slower than it needs to be. But at least he took a step in the right direction. It's not like, oh, he's just doing the same old stuff. Before LaMelo was, you never question the talent, but you have questioned the mindset a little bit. So it's like, I don't know about that. So We shall see. But back to the pick that the Charlotte uh, Hornets had. They got Haynes Steinbach. He's from Washington. Yeah, he's from Washington. Uh, Big, tall guy. He's a center forward. With them getting Nas Reed and getting this guy, I don't know, man. We might see some. We might finally see some winning basketball out of the Charlotte Bobcat. I mean Charlotte Hornets. My bad. They are not the Bobcats anymore. But with Nas Reed, you know, I wonder what's going to what role is he going to play? Is he going to be a starter, or is he going to be coming off the bench as their, you know, backup? We'll see. We'll see. Um, I wonder if Charlotte has some other moves planned. I'm looking at their roster right now. They've got an okay roster. Some of these guys I've never heard of, which is wild because I love basketball. But and they also just signed Kobe White to an extension. They just signed Kobe White to an extension, so he is now going to be the guy. He is now going to be the guy. So he started to flourish in Chicago. He started to find his way there. So I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with this team. I think that they might be onto something. They might be onto something. So, you know, I'm hoping to see. I just love to see good basketball. I just love to see good basketball. So I'm hoping that, they do something. I'm hoping that they do something. And I want to see what this kind of amounts to. All right. So next up, number 15, we got, what is that? Dalen Swain to the Bulls. Um, Now with the Bulls are in full. Who knows what they doing, man? Like I said, they in full rebuild mode. Dalen Swain, my bad. He's coming out of Texas. Like I said, they are in full rebuild mode. I don't know too much about him aside from what I seen Texas do in the tournament, and I don't know about the Bulls. I think that at this point they're just getting guys. They're just getting guys. Um, they made a lot of trades last year that I didn't understand, especially with the way they started out. They started out the season really hot, and then it just kind of super fizzled out. So I don't know. They've got Rob Dillingham at the point, and he used to be in Minnesota. Um, they got Colin Sexton. They got, hey, shout out Mac McClung. Mac McClung found his way on an NBA team. Good job. But they're very guard heavy. You got Josh Giddey, Montez. Well, Buzelis is a forward, so this I don't know how much this dude from Texas is gonna do if he's, you know, I'm assuming he's coming in as the backup, but they're very guard heavy. You got Rob Dillingham, Josh Giddey, Colin Sexton, Anthony Simons. I think they'll be looking to make a move here soon. They also just picked up Nick Claxton. I think he was part of the Julius Randle trade and like a 3-team trade. Not 100% sure. Damn, they got Trey Jones too as well. Like, yeah, they are heavy on the guards. Like heavy. This might be the heaviest guard team that I have seen. They got Isaac Okoro as well. They need to figure this out. They need to make some more moves if they're even thinking about being competitive. Because right now, it don't look like it right now. It's super spooky for them. All right, now I want to say shout out to the Thunder again because they have another pick right here at 16. They got Bennett Stritz, or yeah, Bennett Sturts. I don't know. Sorry about your last name, brother. But here it is. OKC. They went Western Conference Finals, and they've got 2 first-round picks. Like, shout out to Sam Presti, bro. He is doing magic over there. So, like I said, they are trying to fill in those holes. They are trying to fill in those holes to make sure that they can continue to be contenders for a long time coming. This is this is probably like a new way of building a dynasty. And I think that we're going to see them as perennial playoff teams, but like they're going to be one of those teams where they might creep in and be like the old Spurs, where it was like you'll see them in the finals those years that you didn't see the Lakers in the finals. It was like Lakers Spurs, Lakers Spurs, Lakers Spurs. And there might be like one time where there was a random team out the West, but otherwise it was like Lakers Spurs, Lakers Spurs. So that's what it's looking like OKC is shooting for. It looks like they're trying to be that kind of dynasty team that either dreams of repeating or they're just getting championships like every other year. And I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. I like when teams try to make the smart play. I mean, all teams, try to make the smart play in a mind, but what we're seeing here is like some low key chess moves, next level type of stuff. So I am excited. All right, we gonna move on. I'm gonna be quick because I actually got to get up out of here by like 11:30. So the Detroit Pistons, they just made a pick. Struggle streaming, y'all. Let me get back here to the screen. They got Ibuka Okori. Sorry if I butchered your name, brother. They got Ibuka Okori at the 17th pick, and you know, I think that Detroit is making some decent moves so that they can further their playoff push as well. So he's a point guard coming out of Stanford. Um, I did not watch Stanford play this year. I'm usually a lot more into college basketball, but as I've gotten older, I haven't watched it as much. I think next year or next school year, I'm going to make a push to watch more college basketball. Not just the teams I like, but I'm going to actually make a push to watch more college basketball because I want to know these guys, I want to know who do I think can make it to the league, who do I think is going where, and as I'm doing these lives and my sports talk, I want to be informed, well informed on what I'm looking at. So, sorry I don't know too much about you, brother, but we shall see. Shout out to him. Shout out to Detroit. I think they are. What did they do? They did something in the trade as well recently, or they picked up somebody. Let me see. Who did they just pick up? I know they got rid of somebody. I think it was Isaiah Stewart. Yes, they traded Isaiah Stewart to the Memphis Grizzlies, and they got Isaiah Joe from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Um, and that was a huge pickup for them, I think. So with Isaiah Joe's gonna be a nice sharpshooter for them. He's gonna help, put the ball in the basket. Um, and I like Duncan Robinson, but Duncan Robinson can be streaky as hell sometimes. He can be streaky as hell. And so, you know, one game he might give you 18 to 20 points, and then the next like 3 games he ain't doing nothing. And I get it, but it's spooky with him sometimes. So I think picking up another player who can actually, knock some shots down, I think that's a good move for them. I think that's a good move for them. I think they might also have some other moves coming. From what I have seen on Instagram and things like that, coming from like some of these sports pages like Shams and stuff like that, there's some questions about Jalen Duran. There's some questions about what he's gonna do. So we will see. We will see. But I think that this pickup for Detroit, pretty decent pickup. I think they're going to be moving in the right direction. Let's move on to number 18. We back with the Hornets. They picked up Christian Anderson. So Hornets, I think they're trying to build for their future, as well as try to be a team that makes it into the playoffs. So they picked up another guard. He might be somebody who we see kind of, he gets developed by being in the G League. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying he's destined to be there, but I just think like, okay, this might be that pickup where it's like, all right, we want to develop him. The Hornets they used to be a super guard heavy team. They're kind of guard heavy. He might be that, second or third backup, which, hey, that'll be cool coming off the bench for like Kobe White, things like that. But I think this is going to be their development guy. All right, so we on to what number is this? We on to number 19. Number 19, we got Allen Graves going to the Toronto Raptors. Now, I like what Toronto is doing as well. Toronto, they were fifth seed in the playoffs this past year, this past season. They gave the Cavs a real run for their money. Took them to 7 games, won all their games at home, as they were supposed to. But they showed up like a real 5 seed. And during the actual regular season, it was spooky for the Cavs. It was spooky for my Cavs, man. Whenever we faced, I'm struggle streaming, y'all. But whenever we faced Toronto, we actually lost a lot of those games. I think we only won like one, and they beat us all the other times. And so getting into the playoffs, I was a little nervous because I'm like, all right, well, here we are at the 4th seed, and I know we did that for the purpose of seeding. We thought that we were better matched up against Detroit and Toronto anyway. And I mean, we won both of those series, but at the same time, both of those series went to 7 games. And when series go to 7 games, one is super tiring on the body, but it's super tiring mentally because you just came from one series where it could have gone either way. And then you come from another series where it could have gone either way. So, not really good for the Cavs. But kudos for the Toronto Raptors. It had been a long time since they were in the playoffs. I don't think they had been back to the playoffs since Kawhi was there. I'm not sure. But they hadn't been back to the playoffs maybe since Kawhi was there. So I think this was a good pickup for them. I think they'll get some production. They have been finding a way to get some production out of guys lately. And you need somebody. So Alan Graves, he's like 6'9", forward. You know, they're gonna need some production out of him. But this is a real depth piece. This adds depth to the team, and I just think this is a good pickup for them. You know, you've got somebody who can come in for Scotty Barnes now coming off the bench. Um, I know Colin Murray Boyles, that was usually his spot, but now he can do like a little backup center situation. You have depth now, and not only that, but they might be looking to make other moves as well. They might be looking to make other moves as well. So this pickup really kind of gives them a little bit of flexibility. Now on to number 20. This is what I really want to talk about. This is what I really want to talk about. Now, with the 20th pick, the San Antonio Spurs picked up Jaden Quaintance. Jaden Quaintance. Now, Jaden Quaintance, this guy is, he is coming out of Kentucky, and big athletic, like forward center, 6'9", 253 pounds. Oh, born in Cleveland. I didn't know that. Born in Cleveland. Hey. Well, shout out. Hold on. Now my tune done changed. Hold on. I'm up here reading his origin story. My boy from Cleveland. Okay, so shout out to him. We got another Cleveland born guy out here. Hey. Made me super happy. Okay. So anyway, but the Spurs just picked him up, and he is athletic as hell. He can jump out the gym. I was watching highlights of him the other day. I was like, oh my God. This is a guy who can now fill in that power forward spot. And we saw them missing that. That is what the Spurs were missing, especially in the NBA Finals. They were missing a power forward, a true power forward, and an athletic guy who can just jump out the gym. He can play in that dunker position. You know, he can play in the post. He's solid, sturdy, pause. He's going to give you those minutes that you need. He is, and they did this I think they did this to directly counteract OKC's pickup with Ade. I think they did that specifically to do that. So now you got somebody who can be down in the post. It can free up Wemby a little bit because, you know, Wemby likes to shoot the ball a bit. I don't think Wemby is really a center. But with him being the tallest guy on the floor, I mean, it's just kind of automatic. So if you want to do it like this, you could actually do it to where, okay, you've got Wemby playing like the 4, and you've got Jaden playing the 5. In terms of who guards who and how they attack on offense, excuse me. So I like this pickup. I like this pickup a lot. I think it's going to be great for the Spurs. I think it's going to be great for the Spurs. And, you know, once again, you've got an athletic guy, so you can use him as a rim protector as well. So he's not just Wemby. So now you got another guy who, you know, hey, he can dunk the ball, but he's going to also be out there to get rebounds. He's also going to be out there to get blocks and to disrupt the driving game. And if we were to see a, you know, repeat of this past season's finals, like let's say next year the Knicks make it back, because the Knicks, you know, after they won, a lot of them are like, hey, we'll take pay cuts to keep this team together and to increase, you know, what we got going. And I like that. But, you know, I don't know, with some of the moves being made, I don't know how much how likely it is they're going to get back. We got to see, when it gets more towards the beginning of the season and deeper into the season. But I like these. I like the mindset. But you know, before I got sidetracked, if they are coming back to go up against the Spurs, and let's say the Spurs make it back, it's gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna be a little bit different. Now they have a true forward, and I mean, this dude, he's 30, 250 pounds, 260 pounds, something like that. It's gonna be spooky. I think right now the top two teams that, at least in the West, I think it's gonna be OKC and the Spurs again. I think it's gonna be OKC and the Spurs again. The Spurs got something to prove. OKC does too. Both teams took their losses pretty bad. Pretty bad. So I'm kind of excited to see what happens. I am kind of excited to see what happens with those picks. All right. I'm going to quickly go through the next 10. We've got Kareem Lopez with the Grizzlies. We got LeBaron Philin Jr. with the 76ers. We got Zuby Ejiofor going to the Hawks. Now, the Hawks, I think they going I like some of the pickups that they made. I think they're going to be a little spooky next year, too. I think they might be that surprise team coming out the East. They might be that surprise team coming out the East. It wouldn't surprise me if they, found their way in like the top 3 spots. It would not surprise me because they got Jonathan Kuminga, and he was playing very well for them last year, and he was coming off the bench. And so now, and he came in like around the trade deadline. He didn't get a full, season with them. I don't know if CJ McCollum did or not. So, like I said, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. You got these guys coming in, and they're going to have a full season to gel with each other. We seen Alexander Nikhil Walker, or Nikhil Alexander Walker, my bad. But he increased his play. I think, did he win most improved last year? If not, he should have. But you're going to see this team actually get to gelling, and they might do something in these upcoming playoffs. They might do something, in this upcoming season. I think they might be the team to look out for coming up. They might be that surprise sleeper team. So look out for them. All right. 24, we got the Lakers. They got Cameron Carr. Lakers need to decide what it is that they're doing. Are you going to build up to see if you can get LeBron one more championship or what? I am a little concerned for them. Now, this picking up a 6'5" player from Baylor, he's going to be nice, especially coming off the bench for either Luka or Austin Reeves. We gonna see. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do when it comes to their big men. I think they need like a backup point guard. They need like a really good backup point guard. Luka's their starter, and I like Luka. Luka is cool, especially at point guard. That's his position. But what else you got? That's where I'm with. That's where I am with the Lakers. I'm like, what else do you got? So we'll see. We'll see. All right, the Mavericks. They got Sergio Labria. I don't know much about him, but shout out to the Mavs. I'm kind of excited to see what they're gonna do. Hopefully, when Kyrie comes back, he is going to be, back with a vengeance. It's been a while since we've seen him play, and I'm kind of excited to see Kyrie. I want to see Kyrie turn up. When Kyrie is in the league, it's just much more entertaining to watch. All right, next we got the Spurs again. Shout out to the Spurs, man. The teams who like they have these multiple picks and they were really good last year. This is how dynasties are built. This is the new wave for these dynasties, man. And shout out to the Spurs. They got Terrence Reed Jr. They're they're playing like OKC. They're trying to fill in those gaps so that they can return. All right, next we got Boston. They picked up Chris Sinak Jr. Um, Man, it is some things coming out of Boston right now. So we are going to be on the breaking news watch because no one knows what is happening with Jalen Brown, and I feel for him because it's like here it is. He overperformed last year, and it's kind of the curse side of overperforming. He took it as okay. This is my opportunity to shine. I know Jason is out, Jason Tatum, that is, and this is my opportunity to show that I can run the team. But in doing so, now you've made your trade value so damn high that they have to field these asks for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you kind of live by the sword, die by the sword situation. And when teams start talking about you, how does that make you feel? Now, Jalen Brown is not somebody who is quiet. He is not somebody who is just going to sit back and let these rumors go by, at least not without having his own opinion on them. He's not going to, he's not going to let them live down the fact that they were shopping him for Giannis, So with him having that attitude, it's like, oh man, what's gonna happen, right? And I'm hoping that whatever does happen, it's in his best interest, but also like it's gonna shake up the league. So, is what we're seeing from Boston them preparing for his exit? Who knows? Who knows? We shall see. All right, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to take like a 2-minute break. I'll be right back. But yeah, enjoy the music.
Ocean on the beat.
All right, my bad, y'all. I had to fix myself there for a second. Struggle streaming and allergies start acting up, so I had to get myself together. But yeah, left off with the Celtics. It's it might be some turmoil over there. It might be some turmoil over there. And let me know. Y'all drop it in the comments if you put this on replay or whatever. Drop it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Where do y'all think Jaylen Brown's going if he leaves? Or do you think he stays for a year, just kind of grinds it out, and then he just goes and picks where he wants to go? Well, we'll see with that. We will see with that. Okay, moving on. We've got the Brooklyn Nets. They got Joshua Jefferson. They are also just perennial rebuild team. If Julius Randle ends up staying there, I think that's going to be a good mix with Michael Porter Jr. And then the rest is just, hey, rebuild. They got rid of Nick Claxton. He's over in Chicago. They need a new, they need somebody in that center position. And they're filling holes in the rebuild way. They're not filling holes in the, we're about to make it to, we're about to make it to the playoffs, go deep in the playoffs type of thing. They're just trying to do what they need to do to, do something in the future, but in the far future. So we'll see with them. We will see with them. All right, what we got next? We've got the Sacramento Kings. They got Alex Caravan. And I think that was the Cavs' original pick, but we traded with them, so then they ended up getting that pick. So they got Alex Caravan. Would have been nice to see if he would have been in the Cavs uniform. I have seen him play, I think, maybe 2 games. Nice little forward coming out of UConn. I think that he would have fit well with us because we need a forward who can score the ball. We also need a forward who can play good defense. But we shall see because, and I'm going to skip. So real quick, 30, the Suns got Koa Pete. Yeah, the Suns picked up Koa Pete at 30. And quickly, interesting pickup. And why do I say that? Well, I said we need a forward for our team, and we went and got Malik Thomas. He's coming out of Arizona, 6'5". I'd say he's a little bit closer to maybe a tall shooting guard, but he could be in that forward position. He's 185, not the heaviest guy, but what I do like is that he is a pretty decent shooter. Pretty decent knockdown shooter. So I'm interested to see what the Cavs can do with this pick. I think it was a pretty good pick, especially for a second round pick. We didn't have any first round picks, which I don't like. You at least want to have one, but hey, guys trade for guys, and first round picks be attractive, man. They be attractive. So we gave that up in order to get Dennis Schroeder and Keontae Ellis. I think that was part of the DeAndre Hunter trade, so that's why we didn't get Alex Caravan, but instead we got Malik Thomas. Now, like I said, this could be a decent pickup for us. Do I think he'll start? No. But I think, once again, this will be that guy who we develop, and he's going to be a second-string guy. He's going to be a second-string guy, come off the bench for us, be productive. He might be able to play with our starters. And if we continue to develop Proctor and those guys, we will have a legit second unit. And that's what we're going to need as well. We're going to need that legit second unit. We got Dennis Schroeder. He's coming off the bench for James Harden when James Harden is going to need to sit. James Harden might need to sit a little bit more frequently now. He's getting a little bit older. But that's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is you're going to have to start building to where, you might be more of a win by committee team. Yeah, we want to have superstars. Yeah, we want to have stars. But at the same time, we need these role players who can fill their role and play well. Now, where we have been lacking, we've been lacking on these small forwards, man. I didn't really like us giving up DeAndre Hunter. I understand it now, but I wasn't a super fan of that because he filled that small forward spot that we needed. He was filling that small forward spot that we needed. And so with that being gone, we still needed it. We still needed it. But I think this pickup could be a step in the right direction. I think it could be a step in the right direction. So I'm hoping. I'm hoping. And like I said, there are other moves that are at play. So I don't know if that means the Cavs are going to make another move. I don't know what any of that means. We will see. There's been some rumors. There have been some rumors. I'm hoping that the rumors aren't necessarily true. But like I said, we just need to fill in that small forward position. We need somebody who is a true small forward. Who is this? Looking at the Cavs roster right now, I don't know who this guy is. He must be from the G League or something. Riley Minix. I ain't never heard of him. But we need that true small forward that's going to produce for us at a high level. And I'm hoping that the pickup of Malik Thomas kind of helps us do that. Now, we got Max Strus, and he's pretty good for us as well. He's a nice high energy guy. But I don't know, man. He's not always available. You know what I'm saying? And it can get spooky with Max Strus too. It can get spooky with him too. But I'm hoping that we do something. So that is the coverage of the NBA draft so far. We also talked about some of the trades that happened and things going on like that. I'm going to take the next couple of minutes. I want to react to some other things. And yeah, we'll go from there, man. We will go from there. So I am going to find me a video. But let's go back to a little motivational thing. I want to talk about this right here. So this says, invest in your craft, invest in your health, invest in your people, and invest in your future. And I just want to say to all of you all, because this is something that, I've really been trying to do, especially this year, even if it's just little things to help move yourself forward. The little things are what matter the most, and it's always about forward movement. Forward movement can be one step at a time, but it all takes investing within yourself and within your circle in order to do so. So you invest in your craft, that's what you do. You invest in your health. Your health is all you got in this life. I've got a friend who's ill right now, and I'm praying for him, wishing him the best. But you got to make sure that you maintain your health. This being Men's Health Month and all of that, I really want to stress. Especially to my guys out there, make sure you are taking care of your health. Make sure you are taking care of your health. We're struggle streaming, sorry y'all, but make sure you're taking care of your body. Make sure you're taking care of your mental health, though, and your internal health. All those things matter. It's a stressful world out here. But you got to find positive ways to de-stress. You got to get back into your hobbies. What is it that you like to do? all those sorts of things, because I want to see you guys flourish out here. I want to see you guys, doing well and making the most, out of yourself and for yourself. So, invest in yourself, invest in your health, invest in your craft, invest in your people. Invest in your people. The best way you can support your friends, invest in them. That doesn't always mean money, but support your people. Support the people you care about. Help them build themselves up so that they can help build you up. And then it can become a circle and we can become a community. So invest in your people and invest in your future. You got to have vision. You got to have a vision of what it is that you want out of this life. And then you got to start working towards getting to it. So that is where I'm actually going to leave it off for today. For right now, I might come back and I might stream a little bit tonight if I'm feeling it. But I will be getting back to my recorded videos as well. I know I've been saying that a lot, but I do mean it. We are getting back to some of the recorded videos. I've got some ideas on how to mix it up. I'm thinking about doing a music series. I haven't talked about music in a while, and I'm going to, because there have been, especially this month, there have been a lot of music that has came out. There's been a lot of music that has come out, and I want to talk about it all. So look out for the recorded videos. I might hop on stream a little bit later, just do some more reactions, just to have fun with y'all. We shall see. But hey, I gotta go because I got a meeting and I gotta get ready for that. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. Happy Saturday, everybody. Have a great Saturday. Thank you to all my subscribers. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. We on the road to 2,000. I'm gonna be doing something fun to celebrate that once we get to that point. So please be on the lookout. Hey, thank you to everybody else. And as I always say, I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.